So for Module 8 screencast, the final screencast, I will be discussing pros, cons, benefits, explanations of Flipgrid and screencasting, and just ways that I felt that I could use it in my classroom. Why Flipgrid and screencasting? So it's a good way to bring technology into the classroom. There's a lot of useful ways that you can integrate both. And it'll have a lot of student buy-in just because you are bringing this technology in, and students' lives really revolve around technology nowadays. It also provides opportunities to teach things that there normally was not time for. So you can record additional lessons, you can have additional support videos, you can go over tests, you can meet with students about their projects. So stuff that you typically might not have had time for in the classroom, you can record these at home as prep and have them for the students. Differentiation, it's huge. I think that there's a lot of ways that you can differentiate for your students using both Flipgrid and screencasting. And then it's a good teacher, student, parent, and community connection. So not only are the teacher and student able to connect, you can also share it with the parents. And then you're also able to share it with the community, which we can discuss further when I go over the benefits of both. So Flipgrid, the teacher and student benefits, which also includes the ways that I want to incorporate into my classroom. One thing I read that I thought was really cool was the idea hub. So pretty much free choice, students can record a video of them discussing a topic of their choice. So I know a lot of students love to share stories and they love to share their experiences. And as much as we'd love to hear from every student, we just don't have the time during the day. So this idea hub is perfect. And then the students can go through, the teachers can go through, the parents can go through and listen to what the students have to say. Grid Pals was super cool because I used to do pen pals in 5th grade. So these online pen pals are awesome. You can talk through Flipgrid with other students around the world. Teachers can create new topic of discussion from something a student said in their video. So let's say you're having the students respond on a topic and a student touches on something that was really interesting or really different. You can create a completely new topic from what they said and then have the students listen and respond to what they think about what the student had to say. Students can edit their photos with frames and stickers. This might be small, but I think that the students will really enjoy having fun with taking their photo and adding these little additions. Guest modes, this is how you can share topics and videos with families. So you can just get a link and send it to them in an email at the end of the week, and you can show the families what their students have been learning about that week. Virtual exit slips, I think that's kind of awesome. Instead of doing paper exit slips, the students can quickly record themselves, explain what they learned for the day, and out they go. And I think that has a lot of, for like the paper ones, I feel like we do it just so we can make sure that they are doing something, but we don't really actually take into account, did they really learn what you wanted them to learn? And in this, you can like really respond and you don't lose the papers, you don't have a bunch of papers all over. So I really liked that idea. It also allows students to share their thoughts regardless of reading or writing level. So the students don't have to be able to write or spell or read because they're listening to something. So those students who are low at that won't have as much of an issue. And then you can also differentiate learning even further by using different topics for different students. So you can have a more challenging content question for your high students, and then have the students that are at a different level respond to something else or have different requirements for their responses. For screencasting, the teacher and student benefits / ways I'm going to use it in my classroom. I think the main way that I'm going to use screencasting, at least to start, just because I do feel like it's a big task, is for introduction or remedial lesson videos. So I think that recording your lessons, and even if you have to show them in the classroom as the recordings, the students can go back and watch these. You don't have to constantly repeat yourself. The student can themselves go back and listen if they miss something. You can also have them listen to the video as homework, so then when they come into the class the next day, they're ready to go, they're ready to learn, they're ready to work on something as opposed to just listen to you talk. And then remedial 2, if you just want to record additional lessons that branch off from that lesson, if you think that students are going to be stuck on certain areas, the students who are stuck can go and watch those videos, whereas the students who aren't stuck can move on to the work. So screencasting, not only can you narrate Google Slides, you can also narrate paper notes and demonstrations. So you can, that would be easy if you're presenting something on the on your little doc camera. You can record the whole lesson, like I said, and then have the students, if they have questions, rewatch the video, and if that doesn't answer their questions, then you can speak with them. Also, I think it's cool, like, the students can do like a little narration or like a little, they can make stuff on paper and record themselves and demonstrate something while recording themselves just through screencasting. Also, a big one, recording directions for assignments. The amount of times that students just don't listen to the directions, this will be really good for that, because you can just tell the student, go watch the video, go rewatch the video. And then again, if they have questions, then they can come back to you. Teaching and acting out routines. So I know a big thing at the beginning of the year is we have the students draw pictures of these routines, or we have them act them out in class, come up with skits. If we were to have them recorded as a screencast, if a student is not following one of the expectations, go watch the video for routine 2. Go watch the video for this. Are you following the correct way for the routine? No? Okay, how can you fix that? So I think that'd be really cool, because the students always have something to fall back on for that, and then the parents too can see the routines and what's happening in the classroom. Giving feedback, so this could be from teachers or peers. This was my favorite part of what we did with screencasting this semester, was having the feedback for our lesson outline be a screencast. I think it was really, really helpful, and it really personalized it. And I know in the class we always don't have time to sit down with every student, go over their paper, go over their project, go over an assignment. This could be a good way that we could do this at home, and the teacher and the student can watch it at home or in the classroom, and they can also watch it with their parents. So there's really just sound evidence and explanations for their feedback. Narrate tests, I thought this was a good differentiation tool. Instead of going over all the questions out loud with all the students, some students don't need that. Give it as an option. Hey, go ahead and listen to this narration of the test if you would like before you take the test. So then they hear everything said out loud if they do have test anxiety or reading issues. Sub-lessons, I thought this was cool, but I definitely would want to figure out ways to do this, because I wouldn't, obviously if there's like the introduction lessons, then I can use those. And just like reminders, I guess, throughout the day, but that's definitely something I'd want to kind of think of more ideas on and expand on, but I thought it was a really good idea that they had listed. And then lastly, test remediation. I remember as a kid, and I see it with my students, hating sitting down and going over a test, especially if you got 100%. Why am I sitting here? Why am I going over the test when I know the answers? Yes, it's good for review, but not all students need it. So again, recording this test remediation, going over the answers with them. If a student scored really low, going over exactly what they did wrong so they can see it and then maybe try and fix it. So I thought all these were really good ideas and really good benefits. I definitely want to incorporate both into my classroom. I think it's going to be a slow process at first, but both really have their different aspects to it, and I do want to incorporate it into my classroom. I appreciated getting the practice and experience of doing both, as well as the resources that were provided to us. There were so many good resources and ideas. I kind of just read through as many as I could, but those are really good to be able to fall back on and see what I want to have in my classroom. All right, thanks.